So you heard from the two big players in this election. Our team of reporters are tracking the story very, very closely. We'll be going across to them. You can see them bright and tired already. So thank you so much. I'm going to come to you in just a bit. But Professor Sandeep Shastri, coming to you. This has been largely a bipolar contest in Haryana. What are the factors, do you think, which will decide the results on 8th?
Maria, you rightly said it's a bipolar context, except in minor pockets here and there, where some of the regional players and BSP may have a little splash in the election scene. Main issues in this election, I think, are 3-4, especially in Haryana. Firstly, I think the fact of 10 years of the government being in power, the anti-incumbency which flows out of that. You were right in saying BJP tried to change the chief minister's candidate, but have they done it a little too late in the day would be the question a lot of people would be asking. You also have a new caste configuration emerging in Haryana.
Yes.
You normally had the Jat versus the non-Jat vote, but this time that demarcation is not very clear, and the parties have redefined their caste equations. Last 2 points, I think the women vote and the youth vote is very critical. Like in many states, they could sway the verdict. Are the youth looking at very different things as compared to other sections of society? This morning, I used a term in your channel called Jabki.
Yes.
There are 3 factors in Jabki: the Jawan, the Pahalwan, and the Kisan. You see, the new Jabki, as I put it. Now, is it the same for the youth? Is it the same for the traditional voter in Haryana? I think for me, these 4 factors taken together. And even though it's a small state, there are interesting regional variations within Haryana in terms of the preferences that parties and that voters seem to be giving for different parties.
Absolutely. Vedant, let's go to...
All right, so Aishwarya Jain is joining us from Karnal. Gurpreet is also with us from Ladwa. Tanushka is joining us from Rohtak, and Ishika from Gurugram. Gurpreet, first to you. You spoke to the Chief Minister, rather confident Nayab Singh Saini, who said that there is no anti-incumbency and the BJP is returning to power. But how was voting by and large as far as Ladwa is concerned? You know, a new constituency for the Chief Minister.
Well, we have seen the Chief Minister of Haryana. He was quite confident when we were talking to him. He was saying that there is no anti-incumbency. But when we talk to a lot of people within a different constituency of Haryana, what we have learned, whether it's unemployment, inflation, whether it's a matter related to farmer, whether it's a matter related to wrestlers also, these are the core issues which are being raised by the people of Haryana. Yes, of course, we have seen a lot of political parties made a lot of political calculations also. They are feeling they are able to even curb this anti-incumbency against the government. But now it's the people choice. People are trying to evaluate each and every strategy of a political party to understand how they are going to cast their vote. As of now, we have seen 6 p.m. has already been there, and we can see we are standing at a polling station where we can see this gate has already been locked, and the people who are inside, they are already casting votes. So I'll request my VJ to also pan and show from the ground. Some of the people are still casting their votes in the polling station. And if we can talk about overall Haryana, what we have learned, till 5 o'clock, around 61% votes have already been casted. So this time, as we have already mentioned, this is the bipolar election which is happening. But in some pockets, whether it's INLD, JJP, Aam Aadmi Party, they are also having candidates. They are also trying to get vote share. So now we have seen the voting in the last leg, and it's already 6 o'clock, and now only few people who are yet to cast their vote, and all the procedures are being followed by the agencies and authorities also. So if we can talk about the political issues, it's very clear. Unemployment from the various constituencies, that has become one of the major prominent issue. We can talk about the farmer issue also, but we have seen so many times the BJP leadership, they were denying that there is any anti-incumbency. So now the mandate is totally in the hands of the people, and they have already casted their vote. So let's see which political party has followed which political strategy, and which political strategy is really helpful for the political party to gain or retain power within the state. Back to studio.
Thank you, Gurpreet, for sharing that perspective. And of course, the polling officially has come to end, but all those who would be inside that polling station who are already in the queue will get a chance to cast their vote. Remember, in the BJP, the second most important face in the state has always been Mr. Manohar Lal Khattar, although he has moved to centre as a minister, key minister in the Modi government. But my colleague Aishwarya spoke to Mr. Khattar earlier today, and he sounded confident. I mean, although all politicians do sound confident, Aishwarya, they will not be sharing their concerns with reporters. But nevertheless, you know, the BJP had this strategy of having, Dharmendra Pradhan, who's seen as a nuts and bolts man, a key strategist of Amit Shah on ground. He was seen he was made the election in charge of Haryana. He's telling us that he's very, very sure that it will be a different, elections and different results in comparison to what most of us feel in the case of Haryana.
Well, and lately we spoke to a few leaders. They had clearly stated that whatever the exit polls may be, but the prediction would be different as far as the results are concerned. And they are very confident of having once again the Bharatiya Janata Party Sarkar in Haryana as far as the double engine Sarkar is concerned, because the confidence level clearly had struck to them because of the work that they have done in the last 10 years. But of course, the incumbency level is high over here in Haryana. I am currently, in Panipat, but I've been traveling to Karnal and different constituencies. Still, the queue is there at this polling booth where I am reporting from, and there is a slight marginalized increase in the vote share as well compared to last year till 5 p.m. If we talk about Panipat, then it is 60.52, which has been recorded till 5 p.m. But last year it was just 55.49, so 5% of increase, and it is expected that in the next 1 hour or so it will also increase, and there will be a marginal increase in voting percentage. On the other side, if we talk about Panipat, then it was 57% till 5 p.m. in 2019, and this time it has been recorded to 61%, so an increase in that as well till 5 p.m. But people here seems very happy with the kind of work that in urban areas, in the pocket cities, the government has done. But of course, unemployment is the major key concern that we heard from the voters since morning as well. On the other side, yes, if we talk about the leaders, the political parties, both the Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress are head to head, and both the leaders, when we spoke to them, the candidates of both the parties, they seemed very confident and stated that whatever the politics may be, whatever the campaigning they did, it has ultimately gone down to the wire, and they seem very confident. The infighting is one part, but on the other, the people will vote in favor of them. It remains to be seen that what will happen on October 8th.
Yeah, Aishwarya reporting there from Karnal, an extremely interesting constituency, earlier a Congress stronghold, but of course now with Manohar Lal Khattar, it's really a sort of a tough fight there. But let me bring in Tanushka now. Tanushka has been reporting from Rohtak, of course, the stronghold of the Hoodas. And Tanushka, you spoke to Bhupinder Hooda and Dipinder Hooda, both of them extremely confident, saying that there is no infighting and that it's a united face as far as the Congress is concerned, and it will return to power this time. But what an interesting battle it has been in Rohtak, the entire Hooda family campaigning extensively. But what was top of mind for voters there?
In fact, it's not just both the Hoodas, Bhupinder Singh Hooda and Dipinder Singh Hooda, but even Bhupinder Singh Hooda's wife, Asha Hooda, has also been campaigning here. And the voters in Rohtak have given a sense that they, are quite done with the unemployment issues in the constituency. They were complaining of inflation as well. They were complaining of Mengai. And of course, even the voters were talking about the farmers' issues as well as the wrestlers' issues. So these are things that the voters themselves have brought to light, and the voters are speaking about these issues. From what I gauged throughout the day in different villages, these are very rural pockets in Rohtak that I visited and spoke to voters in. And at the same time, of course, Bhupinder Singh Hooda as well as his son both come across as very confident with respect to this election. They both believe that BJP is not going to, the people are not going to elect BJP into power for a third consecutive term. Both the leaders said that talked about issues that they would be working upon, of course reiterating the Congress manifesto that also talks about enacting the minimum support price and bringing about a caste survey as well. So these are points that were highlighted by both the leaders, especially stressing upon the unemployment problems within the constituency, and not just in the constituency but for Haryana at large as well. So Bhupinder Singh Hooda, Dipinder Singh Hooda, both of them stressed upon that if Congress is elected in, and if they do win these elections, they will be focusing on the unemployment problems. Of course, they blamed the BJP for making this, the state of affairs in the state in the past 10 years. Both of them seem confident about the Congress winning, and the voters also seem likely to bring about a change at least. Speaking about a Rohtak Assembly constituency, and until 5 p.m., the voting percentage in Rohtak was at 60.56%. So that is quite a good amount of voter turnout for Rohtak. There were a lot of people in queues at these polling booths who turned up to cast their vote. A lot of, mixed group of people, first-time voters, elderly, senior citizens, even women. Women also was a good turnout of women as well at these polling booths. But at the end of the day, October 8th is going to decide, will the people of Haryana give in the BJP a third consecutive term, or the Congress will snatch away and bring back their grand old party into the state after a gap of 10 years.
All right, Tanushka, thank you for getting us the latest from that very crucial bastion of Hooda's, Rohtak. Now, let me get a word from Ishika. Ishika is with the voters of Gurgaon. We have often spoken about urban apathy. Similar story, is this also today? What is the voting percentage till now, Ishika, in Gurgaon?
Well, Marang, if we talk about the voting percentage here, it is rather a bit disappointing, because if we talk about Gurgaon, the voting percentage is 49.97, which is in fact lesser than last time. So certainly I am present with the voters here. The polling is already done. I'll go across to them. This voter turnout that we are seeing, it is lesser, than the last time. So what do you think, would have been the reason?
There are 2-3 factors which could have been the reason for that. Probably a weekend. We had an off on 2nd and 3rd, and there's a festive, people might have gone around. But this is disappointing. This might impact the results.
This might impact the results. We also want to know from you, now that the polling is done, the fate of the candidates are sealed. Do you think that whoever comes, because it is the urban challenges that you face day to day, do you think you'll get some kind of relief, after, someone, the person that you've chosen wins?
Hindi में
आपको क्या लगता है कि आपने जिसको चुना, क्या आपको लगता है अगर वो जीत के आए तो जो अर्बन इश्यूज हैं डे टू डे बेसिस पे जो आप फेस करते हैं, क्या उस पे अब आप लोग को राहत मिलेगी?
बिल्कुल, मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि अगर बादशाहपुर विधानसभा से राव नरवीर सिंह जीत के आते हैं तो हमें पूरा हमारा जो इंफ्रा खराब हो चुका है गुड़गांव का, उसको ठीक करने में वो पूरा सहयोग करेंगे।
हमने देखा है कि हर बार जो है, अगर हम गुरुग्राम की बात करें तो हर साल की वही स्टोरी होती है। बारिश आती है, वाटर लॉगिंग होती है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जा चुका है। वहीं अगर हम बात करें सैनिटेशन, यहाँ की एक अलग समस्या है। इतने साल से कुछ नहीं हो पाया। क्या आपको लगता है कि इसके बाद होप जगी है कि इस इलेक्शंस में जो आपने अपना वोटिंग राइट्स एक्सरसाइज किया है उसके बाद चेंज आएगा?
जी बिल्कुल, मुझे तो उम्मीद है। आई टोटली एक्सेप्ट दैट व्हाट आई हैव चोजन वुड रियली वर्क, बिकॉज Rao Narbir has done work in the past, and I believe that he's a Dabang leader, so to say, and he will get things done.
So, Maria, we have seen that every year, we talk about the civic apathy here in Gurugram, the day-to-day challenges that the Gurugram faces. But the people are still hopeful that, in fact, this time, after exercising their voting powers, there will be change and they will be getting the relief. Over to you.
And Ishika, before I let you go, I want your own analysis of, did you see younger voters, first-time voters in Gurgaon today when you were moving from one polling station to another? Is that the feedback that you'll give us? Because right now that the demographic that you spoke to were largely elderly.
Well, yes, we did see a lot of young voters as well, Maria. And what is very interesting, to see at one or two polling booths were that, some who were 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, were not going to vote, this year, but also in the coming years. Even they were very self-aware. In fact, they had their own analysis done. They knew, in fact, we spoke to few of them as well, in the morning itself, and they said that, it is the infrastructure that is crumbling, the waterlogging problems that we see every day, when we go, to the schools, to the colleges, in fact, during monsoon. And they say, that none of the candidates actually, try to reach the people, on these local issues. So a lot of understanding, a lot of self-awareness we also saw in the young voters. So certainly all of those who actually turned up today to vote, they did seem to be self-aware. But the statistics that is now coming in, Maria, that is a bit disappointing. It is 49.97, which is in fact lesser than the last time as well.
Okay, so what is the overall voter percentage? Thank you to all the reporters who joined us. We'll be coming back to you in just a bit. But Vedant, you have the numbers of how the voters in Haryana voted in 2019 Assembly and now. What can you tell us?
Absolutely, Maria, as all of our reporters were also mentioning, a slight dip in voting percentage, certainly. Let's have those graphics up, in fact, and look at, sort of a comparison between 2019 and 2014. 2019, the voter turnout was at 68.2%, and the provisional turnout till now has been 61% as far as, the Vidhan Sabha polls are concerned. Though also an important caveat to add here is that if you look at the Lok Sabha poll turnout, that was close to the number we have right now as far as the Vidhan Sabha is concerned. So of course it's much more intelligent to sort of compare the numbers right now to the last elections that were held in Haryana, and those were the Lok Sabha polls, so the number close to that. But as far as the Vidhan Sabha of 2019 is concerned, there is definitely an almost 7% dip as far as the voter turnout is concerned. Of course, in areas like Gurugram, we have seen urban apathy, as Maria, you were also mentioning. But traditionally, Haryana has recorded higher voting percentages as far as the turnout is concerned. Now, there have been a lot of theories. Does a higher voter turnout favor the incumbent? Does it go against the incumbent? Experts continue to float those theories. But let's sort of take a look historically as to what a potentially lower voter turnout could mean for the incumbent. So if the voter turnout is increased, there is a chance that perhaps a 5 on 10 chance that the incumbent government is repeated. A higher voter turnout historically could mean that the incumbent could return to power. If the voter turnout has decreased, there's almost an equal chance that the incumbent could be repeated or could be unseated as well. Now, of course, this differs from state to state, Maria, and there is no accurate answer to this. But of course, lower voting percentage, something that we saw in Jammu Kashmir as well. The voting percentage slightly lower than what we saw in Lok Sabha polls. So no accurate answer there, but certainly a dip in the voting percentage, Maria.